too bad these days. I've done a lot of podcast recordings on Teams. The quality's not bad.
Hang on a sec. Why am I getting a signal? Oh, that's why. Hang on a sec. Can you talk? Oh, no, there we go.
Yeah, all good.
Okay, cool. Performance mode. Let me have a look. Let's have. Oh shit, that's not what I wanted. Go away. There we go. Yeah, so this only literally only happened a few moments ago, didn't it?
I saw.
About half hour.
Yeah, I saw your post. Yeah.
Yeah, about half an hour or so. Oh, about an hour ago. Hang on, got my dog coming in. G'day, everybody. G'day, everyone. Everyone come in. Grab a seat. Grab a seat. Let me get this sorted. Hang on.
We got Doge. We got much Doge.
All right, everyone come in back in and grab a seat. Now, joining me, ladies and gentlemen, directly below me, here you guys might know him from NCR News Network's channel. You might know him from other channels around here on YouTube. You may have even talked to him in the chat. I call him Pretty in Pink, but he's also known as Anthony. Thanks very much for joining us, my good friend.
My pleasure. Great to be here.
Mate, we are meeting on terrible terms. Normally, as you know, this is a fucking comedy channel. We have fun. We make fun of people. And one of the things that are in our targets is sovereign citizens and First Amendment auditors and all that sort of bullshit. But for the second time in Australian history, in fact, the second time in a matter of 5 years, 2 police officers, this time in our home state of, well, my home state of Victoria, have suffered the terrible fate that an officer may face on duty by losing their lives to a sovereign citizen today.
It's a terrible situation that we've seen here. Of course, the most recent one was, I think it was late last year or a couple of years ago, with the teacher that went off the rails, for lack of a better word, and set the booby traps outside his house.
Yep, that was up in Queensland, wasn't it?
Yes.
Actually,
yes,
there is a breaking news story that we can probably cut to if you want to see it. And actually, first, what we might do, let's have a read of the news report. This is from SBS Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say hello to all of you in the chat as well. I'll do my best to talk to everyone as we go through. As I said, this is not a standard store to stream. Today, we're coming in from a fuck you perspective because, honestly, fuck you. 3, in fact, Victorian police officers in the town not far from where I live went to issue a warrant, and 2 of them did not go home today. One of them's in a stable condition with a gunshot wound to his leg. But let's read this story. And thanks to Mippet, she shared this video. We'll go to the thing in a minute. But let's just, first of all, hello, everyone. Good to have you all here with us. So let's have a gander at this this news story. Let me just bring it up. Well, you guys can see it. I've got to bring up this interactive thing. Right, so... Oh, come on, mate. Let me fucking interact with you. Hang on, I might have to refresh it. Can I fucking interact with you now or not? This system is great, but shit at the same time, you know?
It gets like that sometimes, but yeah, it's a sorry situation that we're dealing with here, and it's very much a live situation right now. That's it. William Miller. That was the one that happened in Queensland in 2023, but now this live one down in Victoria.
Yes, this is an ongoing situation because the gunman has fled into the Australian bush with his family as hostages. Looks like a wife and 2 small children.
That is a real concern.
Which is a massive concern. He is armed, as we are aware. I just want to see if we can fucking flick this news story and drive it at the same time. For some reason, it's not letting me do that. So let me just... I'm going to get rid of that one. I'm going to have to bring it up again. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. I don't normally do this sort of shit, but today is a bit of a different day.
One of the things they are while that's coming up, I think one of the things that we can actually mention to everyone is, in terms of this breaking situation, is that there is a bit of a chat going on here at the moment, and it's believed that they believe he may be heading towards the border between Victoria and New South Wales, which will mean that they've already mobilised New South Wales Pole to be on standby in the area, especially around Albury-Wodonga.
Yeah, which, again, it's not overly far from where I live, my good friend. I actually have a lot of friends in Albury-Wodonga, and I actually have friends that work in law enforcement in Albury-Wodonga, and my daughter's godfather is actually the police inspector for Highway Patrol. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Why can't I fucking interact with this fucking news story? That's the whole purpose of you being able to be interacted with, you fucking piece of shit. Actually, what we might do? Okay, fuck it. We're going to get... Sorry, I am listening.
Yeah, well, it's the people probably, while you're trying to get that up, I guess trying to put some context into it as well. The sovereign citizen movement in Australia, just to give a bit of context to everyone, is not actually known by that originally. It was actually known as freemen of the land. And it started off similar with, to a certain extent, with the US farmers in the 1980s, but it all kicked off in, I believe, in Western Australia, where there was a gentleman who had a parcel of land that he's tried to claim as being sovereign from Australia. It's a whole whacked out situation with regards to it. And it's usually been, again, similar to the US, it's been very much started off with farmers in Australia, but then it got, I guess you could say, infiltrated by people in the Indigenous community who tried to use it as a vehicle to refuse to acknowledge the ability of the Australian government to apply their laws on people in the Indigenous community.
Yeah.
Like, similar to what we see in the US with peoples of the Black American community trying to claim themselves as Moorish Americans.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're spot on there. Sorry, let me just... fuck. I didn't mean to do that.
Well, that's okay.
I didn't mean to do that. Probably not the right time for Wham, but anyway.
Hey, look, I'm all for that song, but next time buy me dinner and a drink first before we get into that, all right?
Yeah, no, fair call.
Yeah.
You can all see it on the screen there, I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. All right, so this is the town. Okay, so serious incidents occurred at the property in Porapaka, about 300 kilometres northeast of Melbourne, or if you are good at your mapping, about an hour from my house. So we cut to a couple of photos. Obviously, the Victorian police have been mobilised up to the situation. This, we're going to a bit of story here. 2 police officers have been killed, and a gunman remains at large after what is described as an ambush in the rural town. A primary school, which, by the way, is our version of an elementary school, was placed into lockdown, which we don't do fucking active shooter drills here in Australia. So that's to let you know how fucking serious this has already become. Because this is not something that we like to do. We're not big fans of fucking running our kids into playgrounds and stuff, because that's not what happens. But anyway, that school's been was placed into lockdown. Whereabouts were we? So a primary school in lockdown after the incident unfolded. 2 officers sadly have been killed at their rural property on Tuesday in the ambush attack involving perpetrators believed to be sovereign citizens. Now, Cliff has sent me a thing on Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it, and he believes they've named the gunman. Des Freeman is the name of the alleged shooter. Oh, fuck yeah, that's him. That has to be it. Who's, by the way, been arrested on multiple occasions over the years. Let me just... actually, I think we've covered him here on this channel. I think we've actually covered one of his videos. Now, this is alleged. This is not brought to us by any Victorian police or commissioners or anything like that. But in 2020, 2020, if this is the same guy, Des Freeman appeared to before the recreant magistrate and found four policemen continued to try and break the law by proceeding with the case, and they had no right to do so. So anyway, he's a big fucking sovereign citizen bullshit artist who's talking about treason of treachery, crimes against the constitution of the people, and all that sort of bullshit. So he's got a fairly decent history with the police department. But again, this has not been 100% confirmed if that is the gentleman that we're talking about. So we'll move on. So police sources, not police, believed to be police citizens, sovereign citizen police sources, not authorised to comment on the situation, told the Australian Associated Press. So in other words, some coppers went, "This is who he is, but don't tell anyone." Multiple other outlets, including the ABC, which is the Australian Broadcast. Whatever they call it. Corporation, and The Guardian, which is a newspaper, have also reported the two officers have been killed. Police Victoria are yet to confirm details, but this was an old story. They have now confirmed details, and we'll look at their segment in a second. This is still an active incident, and we'll provide more information when operationally safe to do so. So this is this is the state of Victoria. I'm hoping that you can see my cursor. I can't tell if you can or not, but. So you got Melbourne down at the bottom, Victoria, obviously the state, and then Porapaka at the top there. And in the mountains, they're up a little. If you were to look diagonally down to your right, that's kind of where I am. Police urge the public.
Nice snow territory up there, actually.
Sorry?
It's good snow territory up there, actually, because you got Falls Creek not far from you.
Yeah, actually, Buller's the closer one, but we get snow in our state forest too, so we go up there instead. Police urge the public to stay clear of the dangerous and active situation in the town. The Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, who's got diabetes, said that the government's thoughts are with the force. Well, fuck you, how about you do something about it? With the force, acknowledging the concerns for some police officers who are involved. How about all of the police officers that are involved? The men and women who wear our uniforms and wear the uniforms of the police force take risks each and every day, he told reporters in Canberra, which is our version of Washington. Australian Federal Police Commissioner Reece Kershaw, yeah, offered his thoughts and prayers. Well, great, that's going to fucking help. How about you go and do something? We hope, righto, we hope they're all safe and well. Well, they're not. Two of them are fucking dead. However, we are hearing some grave concerns about these police officers, and our hearts go to the community. How about make sovereign citizenship illegal? How fucking hard is it? You've sent a primary school into a lockdown. You have now lost 4 Australian police officers in 4 years due to fuckwits that claim this shit. Sorry, I'm a bit fucking pissed at this. This is fucking bullshit.
I don't blame you, to be perfectly honest. I mean, the fact that these people have been allowed to carry on the way they have with their pseudo-legal BS is only going to put everyone else's safety at risk, and all because they want to not hold themselves accountable for their own behaviour.
Yeah, exactly. Now, what I've got here on the page, this is Jacinta Allen. She is our Premier of the state, so our version of a governor, where she states a police operation is currently underway in Porapaka in Victoria's northeast. I've been briefed by the Chief Commissioner of Victorian Police and the situation remains active. Police officers and our first responders show extraordinary bravery and courage every single day. They are the best of us, and our thoughts with all Victorians with them today. Please follow advice from Victoria Police and avoid the area. More information will become available. So what we might do, because our good friend Mippet sent this through, if it's all right with you, and if it's not, Steve, shit, we're doing it anyway, is this Sabrina Carpenter? I wanted to get, oh, here we go. Right. So this is, we'll just pause that for a second. We'll bring this up. Oh, shit, we don't want it that big. Hang on a second. What we'll do is I'm going to copy that. Drop that down.
And while you're bringing that up, I mean, it's the timing couldn't have been any better in regard to this, because very interestingly, Four Corners, which is a very well-known
that I bought hours ago.
Very well-known current affairs program in Australia, did a full expose during one of their episodes about sovereign citizens, including an apparent event that they held over in Western Australia, run by the Sovereign People's Assembly of Western Australia, or SPAWA.
SPAWA.
For short. SPAWA.
Yeah, that makes sense. Fucking SPAWAs. We all know the SPAWAs.
I mean, I would have referred to them by the Sovereign People's Assembly of Western Australia, or NAMBLA, to be perfectly honest.
Just call them fuckwits.
That's what I think about them. Yeah.
All right, so I've got this video. This is from Channel 7 News here in the state of Victoria. I'm just trying to... There we go. All right, so we'll bring that up. So this is our local news people, Channel 7 Victoria. We've got Channel 7 in every state, but here, this is the Melbourne version. I do want to say, let me just have a quick look through the chat so I can say hello to a few people, because we've got a lot of people out here watching this story. Simo, how are you? T. Jefferson's here with us again. Harry is with us. Eileen is with us. Harry is back with us. James 10 is still here with us. Rels, how are you? Welcome. DJ Nat Geo is here as well. Mr. Wizard is here. Baitai Flax is here. Adamus is here. Mippet is here. Cliff is here. Cliff is my main go-to guy on Twitter, so he's going to be possibly scanning for stuff as we go along, and if we can get more stuff from Twitter, we'll bring that in as well. And if I've missed anyone, I do apologise. Please let us know if you are watching. Shugs is here, by the way, so we'll say hello to Shugs as well. All right, so here we go. We've got this here. Oh, Beauty's here. Beauty's listening as well. So just to recap for everyone that's just joining us, two Victorian police officers from my home state have been shot and killed by a sovereign citizen in a rural town not too far from us. Rebecca is here as well. G'day, Rebecca. So we are covering this. As we know, sovereign citizens are a bunch of fuckwits, but 9 times out of 10, they're harmless until it gets to this situation. It's one of those things, is they're harmless until they're not. And now we're at that stage. They're not. This is going far beyond a bunch of fuckwits that just want to be idiots to straight out murder. This is the second time, as we said, in 4 years that 2 to 3 police officers have lost their lives. So we're now up to 5, plus a civilian in Queensland that was killed, plus an officer that's been shot in, by the looks of it, the leg. But this is the latest story to have come in from the Channel 7 newsroom. This was done an hour ago. So let's see what the situation is as of an hour ago. Now, we might have to break this video up as we go.
We're breaking into programming with news. 2 police officers have been shot dead at a rural property in northeast Victoria. The incident is unfolding in Porpunka near Bright, while police were executing a search warrant this morning. These are the first pictures we're just getting in from the scene right now. It's understood 3 officers were involved in the incident, and a gunman is on the run right now. Let's get straight to Chief Crime Reporter Cassie Zervos.
Oh,
Cassie,
Sarah,
take us through the information
well.
that you've received so far.
Yeah, Laura, well, this is very much a developing situation as we go to air right now, but we can tragically and sadly confirm 2 Victoria police officers have been shot dead, and a 3rd member is also injured. We don't know if anyone else from Victoria Police has been injured. These details are coming in to us as we go to air right now, but what we do know and what we can confirm to our viewers is that officers were executing a routine search warrant at this property, which is about 300 k's from Melbourne.
K's, by the way, stands for kilometres, for those that want to know the lingo. So 300 kilometres, I'm not sure what that is in miles from...
Divide by 8, multiply by 5, so you'd probably be looking at around about...
You do the math on that one, Cricket Ball.
You do the math. I'll try to do the math.
I'm fucking shit at it. Someone will tell us. Oh,
I think
welcome back.
I think it's about 200 miles or something like that.
Yeah, it sounds about right. Flux, by the way, is Justin. Hello, Justin. It has been a minute, mate. Thanks for coming back and hanging around with us. Good to have you. Jeff points out sovereign citizens should be labelled as a terrorist organisation, and I fully agree with you. This has happened in multiple countries now, not just Australia. 2 officers were killed in Canada, a handful of officers killed in the United States. I don't think there's been any recorded cases in Britain as of yet, but it's only a matter of time. Burns, how are you? Welcome. So again, we're not doing this in a comedic take. We are doing this as this is what's fucking happened. These people are complete and utter fucking pelicans, and they need to be dealt with the heavy hand of the law. I would honestly think that it's time to start a petition here in Australia to label sovereign citizens as either a gang or a terrorist organisation or something along those tracks where they can be labelled as people of interest.
Well, I think the easiest way to describe them would be one way in particular. They are domestic terrorists. All they're going to do is cause trouble to fellow citizens within their own country because they have got their heads jammed so far up their own ass that they can't realise that whilst they're going to go around their own pursuit of freedoms and whatever hell they believe in, that they're actually impinging on the freedoms of other people in that very pursuit.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's selfish. How do I put it? What's the best way to put it? It's a selfish mindset from selfish humans is pretty much what it's going to be.
You're spot on. You're fucking 100% spot on. And just to recap for everyone that's just joining us, because a few people like Bernie wants to know what's going on. Sovereign citizens here in Australia, well, one in particular, has ran off, shot 2 police officers from the state of Victoria, and is currently, at the last reported sighting, ran off into the Australian wilderness with his family and 2 children held hostage. But we'll find out more as the police commissioner of crime reporters, or the chief crime reporter from Channel 7 continues with their story. Let's find out a little bit more.
Northeast of Melbourne. It was for a firearms prohibition order. So that's a search warrant to search this property to see if the owner or owners or people who live there carry any firearms. But when the officers entered that property, that's when they were confronted by a man who we believe lives at this address and is very well known to Victoria Police. And that's when the violence has unfolded. But exactly what's happened in that property and what's been said before the shots were fired is still very much unclear. But
I don't think it matters what was fucking said inside. The copper could have rocked up and gone, hey, what's your fucking take on the Tooth Fairy's full business plan? She pays for teeth. That's a bit odd, isn't it? It wouldn't fucking matter what he said. The fact is, a fuckwit has pulled out a firearm and shot dead 2 police officers who should be going home to their families at the end of today, but are not. That's all that fucking matters here. They've turned up to do a search warrant, which is in their every fucking right to do so, which means that they already had information that he fucking had firearms or possible firearms, and they've gone out to do their thing, and this is what the fucking outcome happens to be.
I don't see what he's got the problem with. They're there to do their job. They weren't going to be necessarily violent with him. He's brought the whole. If what he's done is 100% correct, and we have to remember that these are allegations at this point, he's brought the whole thing on himself, and now he's going to leave himself in no uncertain terms as to what's going to potentially happen next to him.
No, exactly. And Cliff, if you are listening, if you see any information as we're scrolling along that I missed, can you let me know, and I'll bring up Twitter and we'll see what is going on, mate. Cliff is fantastic. He follows people like Steve Lookner, and which is. He does breaking news all the time. This is something that we don't normally do, but today we are, because this has gone beyond a fucking joke. This is beyond anything that a comedian should be able to make fun of. 2 police officers are not going home to their families. They're not seeing another birthday. They're not seeing a Christmas anymore. This is the end of shift for them, and it's fucking bullshit. You know, it's end of shift for 2 people who went out today to do their job. So picture your job, and then all of a sudden you're told you're not going home because some fuckwit decides to kill you. And that's what we're facing here.
I've been told by Victoria Police that this is an active job. And what that means is that this gunman is still on the run. They have put schools, primary schools, secondary schools, and local businesses into lockdown because this man is armed and he is incredibly dangerous, as we've seen what's happened this morning at this address. So the advice to members of the public who live in the Popunka area and near Bright is to stay away from the street and to stay inside and to not go outside until the all clear is made and that gunman has been arrested. But at this stage, it is an active job. So just to confirm, the address where this shooting has happened today is Rainer Track. So everyone who lives near and around there is being advised to stay inside, do not go outside, do not, go for a look or a drive by. Members from the Special Operations Group, which is Victoria Police's most heavily armed officers, have been flown into town.
Yeah, so heavy armed, we call them the Sons of God, or the SOGs, which is the Special Operations Group. Very similar to a SWAT team. That's what all they train for, is shit like this. So, but when it comes to going out into the Australian wilderness, there is wilderness or bush police, especially the local guys, that they do. How do we know that he's a Sovtard? Because the Sovtard lived at that address and he was the registered person of that address. We believe, and again, it's alleged that his name is Desi Freeman, who is well known to police in this area. So that is where it's been reported. It's unconfirmed reports. However, multiple news agencies are reporting that as we do this today. Look, I'm gonna do my best to, get out the information that we can as it comes to hand. But obviously, this is a very fluid situation. So we're just going through. So reported from.
Is that the allegation of who it is? I think I've just found him.
Yeah. Well, feel free to share his details.
Well, he was. I'm just reading up on one of the articles now. I'll just double check when that was. Okay, so the alleged perpetrator, and we are stressing it is alleged at this point, Desi Bird Freeman, if it is him, was in court back in 2023 after he was convicted of refusing a roadside drug test, speeding, and using a mobile phone while driving. So, fine specimen of a human, let's face it.
Yeah, he's top quality.
Yeah. So
has this guy got mental health issues? He's a fucking sovereign citizen, so 100%.
Well,
I'm not the smartest in the fucking group. Yeah, feel free to dig into that. We'll keep listening to the Crime Reporter and we'll find out a bit more information. So it's Desi, D-E-Z-I.
D-E-Z-I.
Yeah.
And would be there already now, trying to look for this gunman who has caused a lot of harm to our force there this morning.
And Cassie, for our viewers, we'll show where exactly in northeast Victoria this spot is, where this siege is unfolding as we speak. Popunka near Bright and south of Albury. So that's about 300 kilometres northeast of Melbourne, where these two police officers have.
You can tell it's a fucking tiny town. Like, there's not many people that live in Popunka. Like, she's only little. Like, she's only a very, very small fucking town. So that should give you a bit of an indication of what's going on. What I'm going to do as well as we're going along is if I can bring up.
Oh my God, I've heard of this guy.
Yeah, I think I've had him on the channel before.
No, this guy here. He's also the guy who at Wangaratta local magistrate's court attempted to arrest the magistrate during a civil hearing.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think we found the articles about this, the alleged perpetrator here, but I'm not surprised. He also now we're starting to see it. Here we go. Now we're starting to see it. So there's also a story back in 2018 Desi Freeman claiming his relationship with his neighbor, Zar Sakotelli, broke down when he asked his neighbors, a Wodonga family that bought a slice of land, to tone down their dirt bike riding outside his back porch.
Yeah,
I'm just going through
he's
this.
all fucking quality. I'm just seeing if I can find.
While you're finding it, in one particularly troubling kit,
Oh, here we go.
the guy he was going up against brandished a chainsaw.
Oh, righto. Yeah, they've actually hidden Vic Pol's police choppers off the ABS exchange. So you can't see where they're currently fucking hiding, which is not a dumb idea because that would have been the first thing that this fuckwit would have thought of. The only chopper in the sky at the moment is the Victorian ambulance chopper, and he's over near Albury Wodonga at the moment, but I think he's on a different mission. That's probably that flew over here before.
And he was then done for speeding again and driving without a license in 2024, and he was convicted in absentia. So I get the feeling that there's a few other warrants that are currently out for him as well. They've gone to execute the warrants, and he's just gone, yeah, fucked if I'm going to be going in. So, ladies and gentlemen, if it is who we think it is, do not approach. I repeat, do not approach.
Do not fucking go within Bull's roar of this fuckwit. I'm just seeing if I can find. I'm just bringing up Twitter at the same time and see if I can see stuff coming up on there. All right, we'll bring that back up in a minute. But let's go back to
shot dead. Now, Cassie, of Melbourne, where these two police officers have been shot dead. Now, Cassie, this is obviously a very troubling situation for Victoria Police, but a heavy police presence on the way there now.
Absolutely, Laura, and we can. I can bring to you that our police association has actually put out a statement from TPAV, and they said they're aware of a critical incident that's unfolding right now, and of course their thoughts are with the members involved. We're talking about people who go to work and they should be going home to their families, and there are families who will this afternoon and tonight be processing what's happened on a routine job. This is a routine search warrant. These happen every single day. We see them in Melbourne, we see them in the city, we see them in regional Victoria. Our cameras have even gone along to some of these routine search warrants, and the fact that two members won't be going home to their families tonight is incredibly tragic, and it obviously brings up a lot of memories and really bad memories of previous police shootings that have unfolded in Victoria. So,
Cass, I'll just interrupt you there. We've just had that statement up on screen from TPAV, just saying that they're aware of that critical incident in northeastern Victoria. They've sent critical incident support teams to the area to assist and support the impacted members and their families and colleagues. But as we know, and as you have stated, Cass, this is still unfolding. So this is a community grappling with something that is happening right now. This gunman, who many of them will know, is on the run as we speak.
Yes, he is on the run and he's armed and dangerous, and the advice has been to stay inside. Just to confirm, we've been told many schools in the area, it is a regional town, but as primary schools, they've been told to stay inside. They've gone into lockdown. Businesses have gone into lockdown. We've called a number of them. A number of them aren't answering. Everyone is just making sure each and every person in that town is safe and is inside. We're talking about someone who's incredibly dangerous, who's opened fire on two, if not three, police officers this morning.
Just going to pause it there for a sec. I'm going to bring up, where's my news thing? Is this thing gone? Let's hide her for a second. This is from the Victorian Police website. As of 4 minutes ago, the Victorian Police continues to respond to the incident at the property. This is still an active incident and will provide more information when operationally safe to do so. We ask people to avoid the area. So as of 4 minutes ago, this is still going on. So it's still a very 100% active situation. The news report that we are watching currently was done an hour ago. And this is the latest information from the official Victorian Police Twitter/X site. So as it states there, the Victoria Police continues to respond to the incident at the property of Porapaka, which is, by the way, I believe that's the correct way to pronounce it. I think the lady from Channel 7 might not have that 100%. But so again, still a very active situation. If you are watching from the eastern part of Victoria, this is not time for rubbernecking. This is not time for fucking around. Stay at home. Listen to any information that you've been given by law enforcement. Don't. No one needs to be a fucking hero today, except for the sons of God. Send them in there, and they can sort this situation out pretty bloody quick. But as we know, the alleged story is currently he has his family held hostage in the Victorian bush / wildlife area, wilderness. So we're gonna try and follow this as much as we can.
Those officers who had just gone to do a routine firearms check, and this is what's unfolding now. We do understand that members from the Special Operation Group are there, and it'll be all hands on deck to not only find this person, but also to work out how something like this could go so tragically wrong when these members went to do this firearms check there this morning.
Yeah, I mean, in regional areas, we certainly know that officers all know those in the community well and often work in areas where they're very remote. We're just seeing live pictures on screen now. These are live pictures of the situation.
All right, to point things out to you, you got your standard beat cops or traffic cops. That's the guy in the middle with his hands under his vests there. He would be a local town copper based on the way that he's dressed. You got a detective over there in the suit. He looks like he's talking to police command. You've got Victorian Ambulance Service. She's the Sheila that's behind the copper that's just started walking towards the guy in the suit. So she's got the fluorescent stripes on her legs there. So she's a medical professional. She's a paramedic or an EMT, whatever you call them in your countries. And it looks like the blokes over the corner here, these are other guys that have been probably called in from other areas, either Albury-Wodonga, other stations that are close by. To lend a hand. They have something different written on the back of their uniform. I can't see it from this angle, but no doubt the major crimes team are on their way. The Special Operations Group are on their way. As I said, we heard a helicopter come over this house before we started this live stream, so there's a good chance that that's them on their way, or they are making the 300-kilometre trip in their vehicles, which probably they will be doing as well.
Near Bright in northeast Victoria, where we can confirm that very tragically and sadly 2 police officers have been killed in what was a routine search warrant at a rural property. So the live pictures of that area, the gunman, the person who was...
Cliff just tagged me in a post, currently at the Albury Airport, which is only probably, I'd be guessing, maybe...
That's not far.
Yeah, about 40 minutes from the site. The New South Wales Police Cessna caravan, which carries 10 tactical police officers, are also on the ground in New South Wales. Also on the ground is New South Wales Rural Fire Service, which I used to be part of. There's a fire scan jet, which has a FLIR system on it, which is your oven, like your heat signature cameras. Which are going to go out and do some overwatch for the operations, as well as the Rural Fire Service helicopter is also just near the airport. So, as you said, there's a chance that he's going to try and make a run over the border. And unlike certain states in USA, we don't have like an FBI system that can bounce borders. Our federal police aren't really designed for that. We do have them, but they're not really... Like, it's not something they would do every day. The coppers in Albury-Wodonga, so that's another chopper coming over.
So for those who don't know, a couple of things about the area there in particular. First off, the border between New South Wales and Victoria actually runs along the coastline of the Murray River. So, except for a very small section sort of close to the Pacific Ocean. So what you're dealing with is basically a water boundary.
Yeah.
So the only way he's going to be able to get across is by crossing a bridge.
Yeah.
To be able to get across the Murray River. Secondly, Albury-Wodonga is a twin city setup, north south of the border. Lovely part of the area of the world, I should add as well. So
the other thing because you've got the Wodonga police that are Victorian and Albury that are the New South Wales, the Victorian police that are stationed in Wodonga are special constables in New South Wales and vice versa, which means that they can cross the border as part of their jurisdiction. However, tactical command would have to go to the head of that state. So it's a bit of a grey area where they have a little bit of jurisdiction each side of the border, but they're the only town in the whole of Australia that has that, because they are sworn special constables from Victoria to New South and vice versa, and that's the only town that has it. But I was just looking on my flight radar. I'm not sure if you heard it, but a very low flying helicopter just ripped across the top of my house, and there's nothing on the systems. So there's nothing on AB whatever, and there was nothing on. Oh, here we go. My beautiful wife has just sent me. There is the tactical aircraft that has. I'm guessing that's just what flew over us. That's a tactical aircraft. It is, in fact, the Royal Australian Air Force are on their way.
Oh boy!
They sent a fucking Hercules, Super Hercules.
Oh boy!
That Super Hercules right now is doing laps of just near Myrtleford, with a helicopter not far behind. Which Myrtleford is the next town from Bright, and it looks like it just literally went over the town of Puckapora. Or Porapaka, more of the point, and there is a police helicopter, I'm guessing, that's also just landing in that area near Mount Buffalo. But that is no wonder it was fucking loud. It was a Hercules. You know, the Australian Air Force have sent a Hercules. I'm guessing that's how they've got the tactical boys there. That would make sense to load up the Herc with the vehicles and send it. This is an unprecedented moment in Australian history, by the way.
And this also means that the alleged assailant is probably heading north. So he's probably heading to try and I think the interesting thing with it as well is that if they were smart, which of course they're
not,
I think we're very much doubting. The most logical method for them would be for them to get onto the Hume Highway, which has got the most open road area, but it's also going to be where the most police presence is going to be. So if they're heading from that area up to Myrtleford, I think it is very much. There are two ways that they could go.
Oh, there he is. There he is.
They could either be heading for Gurumata or Korowa, which is west of Albury Wodonga, to try and find a bridge path over into New South Wales to try and avoid it. What a lot of people need to know as well, in Australia, unlike in the US, if you get arrested and you've got an active warrant in another state, don't worry. We don't have any problems with sending you back over for your warrant. There's no problems with extradition here.
No, that's just a simple thing. I was just having a look again. Thanks to my beautiful wife for sending this to me. This Hercules from the Royal Australian Air Force took off from Canberra, came through New South Wales, has now done its lap over near Myrtleford / Porapaka. And is currently coming back through. I'm guessing he's coming back. He's either going to do a U-turn or he's going to come to Melbourne and pick up a few people. There's another helicopter that's on its way. That's an unregistered. You can't find any details on him. And there's already one floating around. It's a Leonardo helicopter, which is normally used by the Victorian Police, which is turned off his responder and stuff, so you can't track him with any standard civilian apps. But anyone that is on Flight Radar and want the details to the Hercules and you want to track him, let me know and I'll give you his tail number and you can see what he's up to as soon as I find him. Has he disappeared? Hang on a minute. He might have fallen off my radar. Hang on a sec. I think he's turned his responder off. It's a Virgin aircraft, which is one of our local carriers. Is it? No, I think he switched his transponder off. I just had him, and now he's gone. I don't know, maybe that's a glitch, but he's disappeared off my radar.
This is getting very interesting.
Yeah, there's two other aircraft. One's a little jet, and one is a helicopter that are over that town, which both of them have turned off their responders. You can't get any tail numbers off them. One of them is a privately owned jet that took off from Bankstown, which is in New South Wales. And that's doing laps around the area. And then there's a helicopter that has turned off its transponders. All I got is it's a former AW139 Leonardo helicopter. That's all they give me. And then, yeah, again, we had on radar a Hercules aircraft from the from the Australian Royal Air Force, and that's missing now off the radar. It's disappeared. And it looks like another 2 choppers are heading out that way. All right, we'll keep track on that. We'll keep track on that one. All right, let's go back to the story here.
Subject of that search warrant this morning is on the run. So the community there that we're seeing live pictures of right now is being told to stay indoors. Businesses and schools in lockdown as they try and find this person who has opened fire
this is
on Victoria
an active
police
little town.
members.
There's people that are at work.
We'll move on now to the Prime Minister, who has spoken and made comment about this tragic situation a short time ago. Let's have a listen.
He's back on the flight radar, is he? Thanks for that, Cliff. Cliff's just let us know that he's back on flight radar. Okay, so that's the Herc. Do you want to share his details for anyone that wants to track him? Because he's an interesting little thing. I'll try and bring him back up on. I got access to that ATB exchange thing. I'll see if I can bring him up on there as we go along. But he's an interesting aircraft. He's a beautiful aircraft. I don't mind the old Hercs. But when you look on the mapping here, let's get rid of that. I can only see 2 military aircraft. Okay, so that's trajectory. Okay, so let's go back down into here. There's Myrtleford. There are 2 Qantas jets that are going somewhere. There's a couple of jets coming in over a little town called. Yeah, this straight. Oh, there's a tiny little bastard there. You can almost not see that guy. He's really. Oh, they've got a little airport there. There's a little airport in just outside of Bright. It's interesting. But yeah, I can't find this Herc on my stuff. He's got to be there somewhere. Plenty of little jets floating around there. Plenty of. Yeah, I don't know. The Herc's back on there, but I can't find him. So hopefully, Cliff can share the details of that Herc. Oh, did we lose Anthony? Where did you go? You lost him. He's disappeared. I'll leave that window open. I'm sure he will appear back. So this is our Prime Minister. Our Prime Minister's now come out to have a bit of a chat. So let's see what he has to say.
Firstly, can I say that there are reports from Victoria, from Porpunga, about an active incident that has been underway there. There is grave concern for some of the police officers who are involved. Our thoughts are with the police for the work that they do each and every day. The men and women who wear our uniform and wear the uniform of the police force take risks each and every day. And the Victorian Police Commissioner will be providing updates during the afternoon as more facts that are able to be released become clear.
Nope,
however, we're hearing.
I found that Hercules. It looks like he is headed to Melbourne based on his flight trajectory, but anything can change. But it's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen in Australian. Oh, there you are. You're back. I've never seen in Australian history the Air Force get involved in heading out and taking care of business. So that's interesting. But now this is the police commissioner in there. You've got a couple of ministers from the government there as well. That's Penny Wong. I think that's the guy that owns the peanut factory in the background. I don't know who he is. He looks like Mr. Peanut. We'll just call him Mr. Peanut. And there's I don't know, mate. I think you need to have glasses if you want to get anywhere in Australian politics lately. So I'm in.
Well, that rules me out. That rules me out. No,
Yeah.
apologies. I'd had to take a couple of things. Mum called, so you know.
Oh, okay.
Mum.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But yeah,
you're like,
that rules me out.
I'm on the telly. Mum, I'm on the wireless. Come and watch. According to Show Stealer, it looks like he's headed down. Oh, you better not be fucking heading down there. Heading down around Mount Buller, which is about fucking 40 minutes from my house. And it looks like the Herc is headed to Melbourne. That's pretty much what I'd be guessing as well. The Herc again has just dropped it off right. Yeah, he does. He has too. He just literally. Oh no, I got him. I still got him on radar, but he hasn't moved.
Jeez, he's gone.
Yeah, he is.
So he must be heading back to Melbourne.
Yeah, I just received a message from Flight Radar. The followed flight has landed or is out of coverage. The flight with the call sign TROJ04. So if you're on Flight Radar and you want to find him, tail number TROJ04 or 04 is currently not tracked by the Flight Radar. So there you go. They've switched him off.
That there are some grave concerns for some of those police officers, and our hearts go out to the community. And thank you, Pam, for your kind words.
We're going to go live now to our reporter Nick McCallum, who is on his way to the scene in northeast Victoria. Nick, you're on your way there. This shooting that we're seeing live pictures of right now on our screens of just near to Bright in northeast Victoria. This shooting, as you would know from your extensive experience on reporting on the ground in Victoria, will send shockwaves through not just the community but Victoria Police.
Oh, it certainly will, Laura, and we understand local police were under fire at some stage. They had to take cover and also had to wait now until special operations groups, police, were actually on scene. So it's a horrifying figure, but 175 Victorian police officers have been killed. The force was formed in 1853. 175 had been killed on duty. These two officers, just the latest. Probably the most recent and the one that really impacted Victoria was during the period of COVID, that awful period in 2020 when 4 officers were killed on the side of the Eastern Freeway. They just pulled over a speeding car and were hit by a truck.
For those that don't know, we don't lose police officers on a daily basis like some parts of the world. So for us to lose a police officer in the line of duty is extremely rare, let alone 2 at the same time. And what the reporter was just talking about, back during the lockdowns and stuff, there was 4 police officers on the side of a busy freeway dealing with a fuckwit. Then a truck driver high on fucking drugs plowed into all 4 police officers and the vehicle, killing 4 of them instantly. And the fuckwit in the vehicle jumped out and recorded the scene. He started recording the dead bodies and mocking the police who had just lost their lives. One of them still screaming for help, and he's yelling at her going, "You made me waste my sushi, you fucking assholes." Because his sushi was well and truly more important than the life of a person. We had to create a charge to fucking hit him with because he technically hadn't broken any law. And they're like, fuck, there's got to be something we can hit this arsehole with. The truck driver, on the other hand, he was done for 4 counts of murder, but or reckless driving occasioning death. But they were like, what do we fucking hit this guy with? We had to charge him, and I shit you not, this is the charge they had to get him with. Creating a public, creating a public outcry of disgust, I believe was the full charge that he was hit with. So again, officers' deaths are not very common in our line. And as I sort of mentioned, Wolf Queen's godfather is an inspector of the Highway Patrol here in Victoria. He's top dog of Highway Patrol, which means that his officers who are up in that area will be at this scene, which means that he may or may not would have to arrive to this scene as well. depending on who they're calling in, because they would have called in anyone in the local area to come in to assist,
Oh,
which would have been the highway patrol.
The Herc's back up.
Oh, the Herc's back online?
Yep.
All right, we'll keep track on him. All right, yeah. So that's what that fuckwit did, and yeah, they should have jailed him. He should have been in prison, but there wasn't much we could like. He didn't cause the accident. That's the main issue. There is we all put the blame on him because he was an arsehole, but it was the truck driver that caused the accident, which took the lives of these 4 beautiful police officers. One of which was only fresh out of the academy. I think it was his second or first day on the fucking job. And yeah, so it's rare for us. I think the last time we lost anyone was that, which would have been about 5 years ago, maybe.
And really, a lot of this is kicked off after the COVID lockdowns that occurred about 4 or 5 years ago. Victoria was hit harder probably than anywhere else in the world.
Absolutely, yeah. We were locked down. We couldn't leave our houses for anything. We lost toilet paper became rioting. It was a whole shebang here. But we were the most locked down place in the world.
But what then made it even worse was that it gave rise to the what was originally known as freemen on the land, now called sovereign citizens throughout the area. And a lot of them were carrying on with the conspiracy theories around vaccinations, about government overreach, about the laws not applying to them. I mean, some of them are even claiming, as a fun fact, that the constitutional crisis of 1975 made every government after that point illegitimate.
Yeah.
That's
what this guy is claiming as well. This guy is claiming that the government is illegitimate. If it is that man, it's been reported by outlaw media, so take it with a grain of salt. That's who it is. So I'm not going to confirm that it is the man that we mentioned earlier, but it has been reported on a few different places that that's who it is. And if you were to do the math on where they were and who lives in that area that is a known sovereign citizen, it's not hard to put 2 and 2 together. But we'll wait for official confirmation for that. Don't forget, we also have Eric Lloyd in our state as well, who's apparently now come out going, police have no authority here anyway, so blah, 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 blah. So he's already he's already trying at it.
But that's interesting because he's originally come from Myrtleford. So he's driven south along the B500.
Yeah.
So I wonder where he's going to go next, because, I mean, the dumbest thing for him to do would be to head straight back up to Myrtleford.
Oh, here we go. Thanks for sharing this clip. There's Deborah somebody or other. I won't say her name on Twitter. I don't want to be involved for that. But this is a fucking sovereign citizen that's carrying on as well, talking about the ABC just aired this self-appointed law enforcement group and former Prime Minister Scott Morrison guilty of human trafficking, and also the COVID perimeters were guilty of crimes including the violation of the fucking Nuremberg Code and genocide. This small group just drips into the public. And she's carrying on about what's going on as what she's completely not a fuckwit. She's also carrying on about look what happened in Purapara today, referring to everyone as self-appointed law enforcement groups. Sorry, here we go. A self-appointed law enforcement group finds former Prime Minister Scott Morrison guilty of human trafficking. So these fuckwits, like there's even a little video of them holding their own fucking kangaroo court, right? And they think their law is what counts. No one else's law, theirs. And they decide to use the red flag of the Australian military, which means fucking nothing in real person terms. But anyway, we'll continue with this story. Sorry.
Two of the most dramatic were in 1988 in Wall Street. 2 young officers, a 22-year-old and a 20-year-old, were murdered. 4 men were charged with the murder, but they were acquitted. And of course, there was the murders of Rodney Miller and Gary Silk in 1998.
Nick, I'll just interrupt you there, just for the...
Here we go. Before Shiggy jumps in, another person on Twitter. So what psych ops is it today? odd timing for the march this weekend, because there's a big march here in our state, or actually in just about every state on the 31st of August, where a bunch of people are protesting immigration and things like that. Well, what originally started as that...
I thought they were going to protest their tiny penises, to be perfectly honest.
Well, that's 80% of them. There's a bunch of, obviously there's some people that are marching for the right reasons. They want to voice their concerns about immigration and things like that. Other people are taking this opportunity to march for their own beliefs, and a lot of them are fucking ridiculous that are going to take away from the real situation. But as this fuckwit's gone, so what psychops is it today? Odd timing for the march this weekend. Sovereign citizens and conspiracy theorist groups. I can smell bullshit. Share the WASP files now. What the fuck's the WASP files? WASP files. Fuck you on about, idiot? You should know how the government and the media muddy the water and create narratives defining sovereign citizen. This is a loaded bullshit term like anti-vaxxer or fucking oxymoron. You can't be a sovereign and a citizen at the same time. So, we're free people of the land. Fuck you, you idiot.
I know what the WASP file is.
Yeah.
The WASP file is connected to stories around the supposed conspiracy theory with regards to the Port Arthur massacre.
Oh, that fuckwit. Yeah, okay. I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
So for those who are wondering, the Port Arthur massacre was an incident that occurred in 1996 down in the sleepy town of Port Arthur in Tasmania, where a gentleman by the name of Martin Bryan with an automatic rifle killed 36 people out at a cafe. It's the worst single event involving gun violence in Australian history.
And at that stage, it was a world record. We got 36 deaths that day. It was a world record. The only time that was broken was the dude in, was it Switzerland or around that area that wiped out all those kids? And then obviously...
Norway. Yeah, I know the one.
And then followed up by the Las Vegas shooting, because we had it for a long time. That's why we have no access, well, very hard access to firearms here in this country, because after 1996, the Prime Minister at the time, John Howard, went, "That's it! No more fucking guns for anyone!" And we all went, "Oh, yeah, fair enough, whatever."
To be fair, he's a Conservative Prime Minister who said, "You know what? No more guns."
Yeah, and we all went, "Yeah, all right, fair enough."
Yeah. A fun fact about it, until those Port Arthur laws and around the timing of it, it was legal to own an AK-47 in Tasmania, but it wasn't legal to be gay.
Yeah.
So how do you think their priorities were?
Yeah. As Scott points out here in the thing, never give up your guns, never ever under any circumstances. I trust you all understand that now, why you're told not to do this. Yeah, I get it. And in the United States, under your Second Amendment, you guys are allowed to have them. And I've got no problem with that whatsoever. If you want a gun, own a gun. Be responsible with that gun. That's the key, right? Be responsible with it. Be a responsible gun owner. It's not that hard. Don't be a fuckwit. A lot of people will look at this situation going, well, if someone was there with a gun, whether it was 2 police officers, 3 police officers, all there with firearms. And now one of those firearms is in the hands of a bad person. So...
And this is not an anti-gun thing either.
Not at all. I like guns. I'm a big fan of them.
I've got family relatives who compete in pistol shooting competitions. It is an incredible skill. Some of the best marksmen in the world are Australian as well. I mean, the 2 gentlemen we can think of right now would be Russell Mark and Michael Diamond, who have both won gold in trap shooting.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's a real skill to do this, but you've got to do it responsibly. Come on, people.
Exactly. Hang on, I'm just responding to something. I'm just saying thank you to everyone in the chat. I do apologise if I'm not reading out your comments as much as I would normally if this was a comedy show. But we just thought we'll try and give you the raw data as it comes in.
Those tuning in, what you're seeing on your screen right now are live pictures of Pawnpunka. This is northeast Victoria, where this siege is underway right now, where we can confirm 2 Victoria police officers have lost their lives in this shooting.
They look like SOGs. The guys at the front there look SOGs. Yeah.
A post come up from Show Stealer. Thank you very much. So, according to him, ABC News. Apparently, the warrants. You're gonna love this.
Yeah.
The warrants are for historical sex offenses.
Fucking hell. I thought it was gun related warrants.
Unconfirmed. I haven't seen it yet, but according to Show Stealer, who's posted in the chat, their warrants were for historical sex offenses. So, if anyone can confirm that, post it in the chat.
Yeah, please do. Feel free to any information you guys out there in the chat find, either on Discord or Twitter. Your milkman might have come over and told you. Just let us know, and we'll look into it, because this is a very interesting story. Now, there will be a time where it is like 5 o'clock. Almost 5 o'clock our time. There's dinners and stuff that will need to be made and stuff like that. But we're going to try and follow this story. If we do have to stop, so both Pretty and Pink and myself can go and feed our families and stuff, we will return as this on goes. If you're up for it, Pretty and Pink, by the way.
Yeah, I can probably be after 9 o'clock tonight, because as you can see, I'm actually decked out for something else here later on today.
Yeah, it looks like you're about to go. When you just say when you need to go. We appreciate your time, we really do, and we're very thankful to have you here. You're an insight to this. You are probably more in the know of the sovereign citizen stuff here in Australia than myself. So I appreciate you being here and sharing your knowledge with us. So, Kimatron
I'm hardly an expert, but thank you anyway.
Yeah. Kimatron looked at you and went, "Who the fuck's this idiot? Tell the wog to get off me fucking screen. What do you want, a pizza, you fucking idiot? Hey? I may not be a wog, but I look like one."
Everyone looks at everyone. A lot of people, when they see me for the first time, they go, "Oh, it must be Italian heritage," and then they hear my mouth, and the first thought that is, "Oh, Jesus Christ, he's Australian."
Yeah, no, I could tell you're an Australian because you're not wearing a big, thick gold chain with chest hair.
Hang on,
you haven't got a Bluetooth speaker in your ear.
There you go.
You do. Oh, fucking hell, you do have that. A bippity boppy. All right, let's continue.
I don't have a moustache. That's not the problem.
You gotta get. Yeah, I bet you know how to play soccer though, don't you? You fucking loser.
Which jersey am I going to get?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you what. I'll make you happy. I do have my baggy green.
You got your baggy green. Oh, hey. I did have a replica of the Ashes at one stage.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I gave them to someone. I can't remember.
Shot in the leg. Those are the
there
reports.
You go. All right, there we go.
This morning, 2 Victoria police officers have lost their lives in this shooting this morning. Another critically injured, shot in the leg. Those are the reports. Shot in the leg. And what you're seeing now is police officers entering the scene in northeast Victoria. This is 300 kilometres northeast of Melbourne, and this offender is still on the run. This is someone that is known to Victoria Police, someone who was on their rural property this morning and has opened fire on police officers, killing 2 and wounding another. That person now on the run in northeast Victoria. Nick,
and they're not bringing up the fact that he's allegedly on the run with his family as hostages. Because I don't care what kind of fuckwit you are, your missus is not going to go, "Hey, this is a great idea, and let's run together. This is going to be great. We'll go out like Bonnie and Clyde." You know who will really enjoy this? The kids. Right?
I mean, if they manage to catch this clown alive, I think there'll be some serious questions asked as well. Go ahead.
There is an airport, I believe. There's a small airport strip in Shepparton. I was just reading, thanks to Adamus for pointing it out, that he's turned around again. He's now headed to Shepparton, which is between Porapaka and Albury. Between Porapaka and Melbourne. There's a little town called Shepparton, which is allegedly where this Hercules is on its way to. So whether or not he's going to, those fuckers can stay in the air for a long time. Like, he's not stopping for fuel. He's not bringing in the sights. He's there for a reason. The fact that he's circling this area, there's something that we're not being told yet about. And nor should we. We should not have all the facts right now. This is an ongoing, flawed situation that the police force need to hold their cards close to their chest. And hopefully, as the story unfolds, we will get to know more and more about what's going on. Oh, there you go. Scotty reckons, sounds like you have West Memphis situation. If you are familiar with that, 18 sovereign citizen killed 2 cops. And then he and his father were later killed by the cops. Oh, right, okay. And I know there was one up in Canada as well, I believe, across the border there, where 2 Royal Mounted Police officers from the Canadian Police Force were shot and killed by a fuckwit sovereign citizen driver. As much as we make fun of them, and as much as I insult them and all the clever shit that I do with the videos, at some stage we're going to have to pull up stumps and go, I think it's time to fucking just not only bring them down verbally, but there needs to be a international standard for dealing with these fuckwits. Yeah, I'm not talking about your dickheads that don't 100% believe it. Like, you know, the ones that try that shit for the first time on the road because, you know, they heard someone on YouTube say it and they'll try and get away with it. And meanwhile, their car's still registered and they still have a license. They just don't want to give it over. I'm talking about these fucking hardcore criminals like this.
What can you tell us about what you're being told from Victoria Police?
Well, at this stage, they are telling everyone to keep away from the area. There are, we believe, 2 schools in Porpunka which are in lockdown. A lot of the local businesses are in lockdown. We have spoken, our reporters have spoken to a number of the businesses. They say the town is on edge. They've spoken to a few people involved with the school, and they say they are trying to keep calm. They're not in any way panicking. They are trying to continue with normal procedures within the school and trying to keep the kids as calm as possible. But at this stage, 2 schools, the high school and the primary school.
Nick, I'm going to interrupt you there. I'm going to interrupt you. Thank you, Nick. We're going to go straight back to Chief Crime Reporter Cassie Zervos. Cassie, take us through the information you've just received.
Multiple sources have just been messaging me updates from what they're hearing as well, and we can confirm, we can reveal right now that the gunman, who is armed and who is dangerous, has actually taken his wife and his children into the bush and is holding them hostage right now as this live development and unfolding situation is happening this afternoon. We've got members from the Special Operations Group on their...
There's your soggy boys. These guys here with no patches on the back. These are guys that have made their way there without going to the station first. And they've taken their patches off so no one can identify who they are part of. And when the SOG boys, the Sons of God, the Special Operations Group boys arrive, this shit's about to get very, very real. Now, bear in mind, this news report was just over an hour ago. So a bit over an hour ago, probably 2 hours ago that this report came through. So there is more information that possibly has been released. I keep checking through on the Victorian Police Twitter page, and at the moment, the last update we got was 43 minutes ago, which we read out when that came about. So that's still all we know so far. There's no more information that has come out. Let me just double check.
I've been checking some of the other news sites as well. There's been no new information that's been provided at this stage. No.
Yeah.
But as you've been saying, this is very fluid. If it's clear that he's gone into the bush, who knows?
Family.
Yeah. And then now it's confirmed that he's got his family with him. This is nuts and
very, very dangerous situation.
Oh my, yeah. So meanwhile, while it's been developing, there's been this is one of these stories where a lot of people who support sort of the anti-establishment movement. Some of their posts are now popping up of people who have supported Desi Freeman. If it is him, one of them was a lady by the name of Jackie Dundee. Great stuff. Wake up to the criminals in Parliament, the judicial system, the police, etc. Corruption is running rife. Yeah, good on you, champ. Yeah, that's aged like milk at this rate. Good on you.
Fucking idiots. And Scotty, the SOGs, the Special Operations Group, is our version of a SWAT team. They train very similar. Sadly, we don't have interstate police like the FBI. We do have the Australian Federal Police Department, but they primarily sort of handle airports and things, ports of entry and stuff with the Border Patrol guys. Not to say that there isn't a criminal aspect of the Australian Federal Police, but it's not publicly known who does the interstate type stuff. Normally it's like in this situation, a major crime unit, which work very similar to a FBI unit where they do major crime. So they have their own crime techs, they have their own forensics, they have their own leash to do what it is they need to do to get the information as quickly as possible. When it comes to a SWAT team or an FBI negotiation team, sadly, we don't have interstaters like that. We do have negotiators for Victorian police, but we don't handle this type of situation very often. And negotiations, I remember when I did my course in the prison system, it's one of those things that it's like a muscle. If you don't flex it and you don't use it, it's one of those things that will diminish. It's one of those diminishable skills. So you still have to actively look at these type of situations and go, right, what do we do in this situation? And the other thing is can they make contact with this guy? He's ran off into the Australian bush. Where, though, is the situation? And that's probably what the Royal Australian Air Force are trying to determine. They have that type of gear to hopefully locate this fuckwit and rescue those kids.
Well, and here's the most difficult thing about that situation as well. Where they're going into right now, around say Mount Buffalo or whatnot, if they have gone into the bush, it is so difficult moving in that area. It's very mountainous. There are peaks and troughs all over the location around there.
And that's not even counting in the deadly animals that are in there. There's
exactly.
Things in there that want to kill you.
Well, let me say this: if the Emu Army is around, the Great Emu Army,
if
the Great Emu Army is in the area, your service is required. Brigadier Reginald, get him into gear.
Send in the tactical cassowaries. Get him in there.
Yep, absolutely.
Cliff has pointed out the Australian Federal Police have deployed a specialist unit and the specialist response group. Deployed the specialist units. The specialist response group is on their way. I don't know much about that. I will do some research and find out what I can find out about the specialist response group. That would be very interesting to know. All right, let's continue.
Way, and their Victoria Police are throwing every single resource they have at this situation. They don't want any more fatalities, but you can imagine just the panic, not just in that situation right now, but of course in town as well for those members of the community who don't actually know what's going on and don't know if they can leave their house or not. But just to confirm that news with you now, Laura, the gunman, he's in the bush near his property, which is 300 k's northeast of Melbourne, and he has taken his partner, his wife, and his children into the bush with him as well. And he is armed and he is very dangerous. So the advice from Victoria Police is to keep away from his address, which is Raynor Track. There's a huge police presence there. We understand there's a number of roadblocks as well. So anyone who is around there or travelling through is best to avoid that area.
Cassie, can I just confirm, you mentioned a short time ago that it was a hostage situation. Did I hear that correctly?
That's correct, Laura. So he's taken them after what's unfolded at his property. He's fled his home with his children and his partner. And what he said to them, we don't know. If he is communicating with police, we don't know. But we do know that he is armed and he has at least one, if not two, firearms on him as we go to air right now. So it is very much a live and developing situation.
And Cassie, do you have any insight or information on how many children are with him right now?
I've been told at least two, Laura, but that's
at least.
I was still getting information coming in as we get that unconfirmed, but at least two at this stage. This man is quite well known to police in town and also police in the city as well. I think he's been in and out of court for several different offences, but obviously once we can report more details, we will of course bring that to our viewers.
And Cassie, from your extensive reporting as our chief crime reporter, the panic that you would be.
I'm just going to stop there because Cliff has pointed out, and so does Adamus and Shugs. Apparently, the Herc flew over Shepparton and is continuing to fly north-northeast, so it might not be related to it. However, he did fly over that area. He did go over the top of Pura. How do they pronounce it? Pornapaka or Purapuk. It's Purapaka. That or Pura. Yeah. What did you say? Purapunka. Pupunka. Yeah, that would do. And Cliff has pointed out that he said that the AFP have a. Oh, okay, right. Sorry, I misunderstood what you said. The Special Operations Group, we have one, but it hasn't been dispatched that we know at this stage. I do apologise, I misread what you said. The Special Response Group here in Australia, under the Australian Federal Police, the sworn officers based out of the Australian Capital Territory, are resolving high-risk plan and emergency police operations both domestically and internationally. The SPS, or the SPR, are a tactical group defined under the Australian-New Zealand Terrorist Counter-Terrorism Committee Act and agreements. So they operate primarily in large-scale operations. When it comes to whether or not they're going to be called to something like this, I don't know. But that at least is a feather in the cap if need be. All right, let's continue how we're going with this one.
Sensing from officers and the deep trauma that would be coming through at the moment that their own have been shot, and that this is an ongoing situation that they need to continue with their police work after receiving the news. It really can't be understated, can it, how serious this is?
Absolutely, Laura. And I think too, these members put their lives on the line every single day to protect Victorians. And right now, they're processing the grief of their own, but also the importance and the urgency to catch this person before anyone else from the public is injured or hurt. So a lot of emotions, as soon as this news broke, lots of text messages, lots of phone calls, anger, grief, sadness, people messaging one another saying, make sure you're okay. Everyone knows someone who works for Victoria Police, and the ripple effect that this will have on our force will be huge. We saw it with the Eastern Freeway tragedy. This is something that really does have an impact and really goes to show just how risky this job is to Victoria Police officers and members who are serving our community every single day and who go to work saying goodbye to their families and who are expected to come home that night. And I think this is the gravity of the situation, and it's something that many people, our leaders have said it, will be reflecting on not just today but in the days and weeks to come.
Thank you, Cassie. We'll leave you there for the moment. We're going to go to State Opposition Leader Brad Batten, who has just spoken about this incident. Let's hear what he has had to say.
Today we're seeing tragic news is happening up in the north of Victoria, and we want to send our thoughts and our strength out to Victoria Police members who are hearing some of the news coming through at the moment. We know that when Victoria Police members get out of bed every day and go to work, they go to work with risk. And when we hear news coming through about any event that's happening where there's risk to Victoria Police, it touches the entire community, and more so for those members of the police force. And as the process goes through and more information comes out, our thoughts are with all of the families through all of the north. The impact of events like this will impact each and every police officer across Victoria and across Australia, but it will also put a massive impact on the families who are at the moment all hearing the news come out that is currently happening. Each and every day, Victoria Police members go out in the face of danger. Each and every day they know the risks. And today we want to send out our thanks to all of them, but more importantly, our thoughts to everyone as the events unfold up in the north.
Okay, so that's kind of where we're up to at this stage. It doesn't appear to be, we're just sort of looking around trying to find other forms of information that we might have seen. So thank you for sharing that flight route, by the way. Peak Hour Images, thanks to Cliff for sharing this, is also saying that Desi Freeman is a person of interest when it comes to what is going on there. I'm just seeing if I can find any other details on news sites and stuff, but there doesn't appear to be much going on this situation. It's still, obviously, as we know, it's all very fresh. It is still currently actively playing out. Our thoughts are with the people in the town and, of course, the law enforcement and other first responders that are on the scene. Because it's not going to just be, this is the thing. Let me just, I'll just bring this one up as we wait for Anthony to return. It's not just the Victorian police that are going to be there, as we know. It's also, obviously, you got the Victorian police that are the local police. The highway patrol will have to come in and they will have to block down areas. You're going to have the state emergency services, which are volunteers, by the way. These are volunteer people that are designed to assist police in emergencies. And I know this because I was one. Their job is to be a service to the police force, whether it comes to finding lost people, hence they are primarily our search and rescue team, but as civilian based. So they normally work hand in hand with other agencies. They get to have vehicles with blue and red lights, and they get to do all the fun things that go with being a first responder, but they are civilians. They are 100% volunteer people. There is a handful of paid members, but they are operational members when it comes to how do we keep things running. They're not on the ground people. So the people that are on the ground, part of the state emergency service, will be volunteers, and their job will be to set up command posts. They will be to set up lighting and rigging. They will be designed to help assist the police when it comes to keeping a safe area and maintaining order when it comes to what's known as standing grounds or stationing areas. These are the important people that will set up the stuff to make sure that the police and the ambulance and the fireys can all do their jobs as well. So they're an important group of people, but they are all 100% civilians. So it's them that are going to be affected. These are people that are going to be taken away from their families to assist with this. And when they do, and same as the crime scene, right? There is going to be 2 deceased officers in the middle of a crime scene that these volunteers are going to have to go in and set up light rigging around, to set up tents to help maintain that scene. Hang on, I'm just going to bring Anthony back in, to maintain the scenes so the police can do their jobs. And this is a big thing. So it's not just the Victorian police. It's not just the Victorian ambulance service. It's not just the firefighters. It's the SES. There's other volunteers. You're going to have, and being a small country town, you're going to have people running out and making sandwiches and coffees and cakes and fucking all this stuff so the police can be fed. Because in a small country town, like mine, for instance, come 8 o'clock, there's nothing. You're not going to get food. You're not going to get anything. So the SES and the local, normally it's the Country Women Association, or it's a Lions Club or a Rotary Club, or whoever will go out and they will make sure that these officers are fed. There is catering and so forth that the Victorian Police do offer, but that is as hard as fuck to roll out. And that's got to come 300 kilometres to get to the scene. Right? That's coming from Melbourne if it's not already deployed in a different scenario. So there's all these different things that are all rolling across to this scene that is going to, affect so many Australians. And you've got these poor bastards, these ones here that you can see on your screen, who know these 2 dead officers, whose brother in blue is currently under medical treatment for being shot in the fucking leg. And this is the sad part, is this guy has affected not just the lives of his family by taking him hostage, but at least, we've seen at least 100 people in that news clip that are part of this situation. And that's just first responders. That's not counting in your state emergency services. That's not counting in your fireys. That's not counting in the pilots, the aircrafts, the fuel guys, the fucking ground guys, everyone that helps maintain an aerial fleet for the Victorian Police, the Royal Fire Service, the fucking, by the looks of it, the Royal Australian Air Force. All these people are all at work now because one fuckwit doesn't believe laws apply to him.
It's a dangerous situation as well when you consider that everybody knows everyone in these towns as well.
Yeah.
So can you imagine the mental anguish that's now going to go through all of these citizens, all the people in this community who knew this guy, and they're thinking,
"Oh shit, sorry, wrong button. My bad, wrong button."
I thought for a second there, I thought we were going to go into another wormhole, you and I together.
Yeah, a bit of a K-hole, mate.
Oh, mate, indeed. So when you consider that the impact that this is going to have on everyone in that community as well, because they can never look at a neighbour the same way ever again. Like they probably look at it and going, shit, if this bloke has just lost his collective mind, gone and allegedly murdered two police officers, now taking his family hostage out in the bush in Victoria. What's not to say that somebody else is going to that I know is going to do it as well?
Oh, this is the other thing, yeah. The copycats and all that sort of shit that go with this stuff.
Yeah.
Just having a quick scan through Twitter and see what we can find here. The shooter known to police has been branded as a sovereign citizen as he went after Murderford Mayor and Dan Andrews for treason.
Oh.
And here's the story. Oh, that's a different story. White Anglo sex offender and a sovereign citizen shoots dead 2 innocent policemen. This is in America where you can just shoot anyone you fucking like because the Constitution says you can. Sovereign citizen is just another excuse to do what you want with no circumstances. Yeah, and it's sort of just, you can see Twitter is up in arms about it all. So some photos and stuff that have made their way around. Fucking, he deserves to be shot. I'm not fucking, that's my takeaway from it. There you go. The alleged gunman was living on a bus on the property and is believed to be a sovereign citizen, a member of a radical group that follows conspiracy theories and believes that the government is illegitimate. And then, yeah, just more and more people sort of floating around. There's the post from Outlaw Media. So, as I said, it's still a very fluid situation. We don't know much more. This looks, what's that? Victorian Police Commissioner Mike Bush confirms the 2 officers shot dead, a third seriously injured, now in surgery during the shooting. That 10 police attended the property. That's alleged at this stage. We don't have full confirmation on that, but alleged 10. That's a bit of an overkill in that situation based on our histories, but who knows? And then someone else is trying to say it's someone else. Yeah, that was the Toowoomba incident. So yeah, it's just, yeah, it's again, it's a fluid situation. We only know what we know. We only know what we've been able to tell you so far. There's been no other further updates. There's been no further information received or sent. But at this stage, this is what we know. So it's one of those situations that I'm going to keep a very close eye on. And I know everyone will probably keep a very close eye on. And I feel like I'm probably going to have to come back and do more of an update as we know more. This guy obviously...
I've got something here for you, though, as well. Daily Mail apparently has been in the area sort of interviewing a couple of people. They've got at least 2 people who are reporting that the alleged murder incident that took place at the police officers wasn't even a gunfight. It was a straight out, according to them, an execution style killing. So basically trapped. It was basically, the allegation is that basically trapped him. He's gone up and executed them.
I did hear rumor before we came on air, and I haven't been able to find any more detail on it, so I don't want to speculate. But the rumor I heard before I came on air was he managed to get one of their firearms as well. So not only does he have, I don't know whether that's the firearm he used in the situation or if he has armed himself with that firearm after taking the lives of the police officers. So I don't know. Again, it's it was a thing that I read. I haven't been able to find the report, so I don't want to say, oh, this is what happened, because that's not true. We don't know what happened. It hasn't. Hang on, 10 minutes ago, Victorian Police. Hang on a sec. What have we got here? Vic Pole, 2 police officers have been shot and killed, and a third was seriously injured during an incident report. Further information about this incident will be coming out as it comes to hand. I'm just having a look at the actually, I wonder if I can bring that up. Hang on a sec. Let me see if I can bring this up. And we'll have a look at this before we call it a day. Could you
I might have to leave soon anyway, because it's going to be dinner time very shortly here.
Yeah, and we're going to have the same here as well. Let me just have a quick look at this report with you before you run away. So this is straight from the Victorian Police media. This is the police media page. So this is the official statement as of 4:48 p.m. today. So what's that? About 40 minutes ago. 2 police officers on duty have been shot and killed during an incident at Punka this morning. It's believed that 10. There you go. There you go. So there we go. It does appear that it is believed that 10 police officers attended the property on Raynard Track shortly after 10:30 a.m. Tuesday, the 26th of August. 2 police officers were fatally shot and one seriously injured after being shot in the lower body. At this time, no other officer has been physically injured. However, they remain at the property. The exact circumstances surrounding the incident is still being determined and remains an active, ongoing situation. It is believed that the offender has since left the property, and at this time his whereabouts is unknown. A significant search is actively underway to locate the man. We urge the public in and around the township of Porapunka to remain indoors until further notice. We also ask people not travel to this area. Don't travel to the area, fuckwits. Just leave it to them. Detectives from the homicide squad will investigate the incident and will attend this scene along with detectives from the armed crime squad and the fugitive squad. Okay, so this is how we're not going to bring in the feds. We're going to handle this in-house by the looks of it. Police from the Special Operations Group, the Sons of God, and the Critical Incident Response Team, also known as the CERT team, also remain on the scene. Further information about this incident will be provided once it comes to hand and is operationally appropriate to do so. Anyone with any information, please call them Crime Stoppers and visit crimestoppers.com.au. So that's all we know at this stage. That was from 20 minutes ago.
I'm having a look now to see. So Raynard Track is a little track off the off Mount Buffalo Road, sort of like the main street that goes through the town. Where he was in particular, it's like a little creek, and then you get to the airfield right next to it. So there's only 2 things he could have potentially have done. If he had a car that he's sort of taken them all out in, he would have been driving along Mount Buffalo Road, and to be perfectly honest, he'd be struggling to get very far, because there's 3 directions he could have gone. He would have ended up right in the middle of Mount Buffalo National Park. He would have driven down past Bright, or he would have turned up on Great Alpine Road and gone through Euroban on his way to Myrtleford.
Yeah.
So that's the only way he could have gone by road. Otherwise, he's on foot going through the Mount Buffalo National Park. Once he gets past the airfield, there is no way you're going to be able to get search parties in through there. It is not impossible. The nearest place you could pop out that's not the airfield would end up being a little lookout area called Sinclair's Waterhole, and underneath that is the there's a couple of farms.
It's very, very mountainous area.
He's going to struggle.
Who do we bring up? That's what I want. Okay, so there's Rainer Track Road, which is through here. Like there's Rainer Track Road. We're not sure which home it is. Not sure if it's one of these two. It doesn't look like there's many homes along this road. It may indeed be.
It'll be one of those two, and it's alleged he was living in a bus at the time.
Yeah, that's what I was seeing if I could find was a bus or anything.
Actually, yeah. If you go to that house, there, yeah, there's a few of them like that are in that. No. Go to the one just above.
In here.
So that, yeah, that one.
Yeah, and it's pretty well hidden in there, isn't it? As you can see, it's all open field. I haven't been able to see a bus, so to speak. Let's go back down here and see if this house had a bus. But I'd be guessing, yeah, that's way too pretty for a fuckwit to be living on. That just looks like two regular people's houses. Because, is that another house?
That one there. No, that one there. Look to the left on that, around the drive around. You see, no, back up. So that little farm estate just there.
This one?
That you were on previously. No, the other one. You were on previously there. Yeah.
Zoom
in there on the left. So you see there's a few vehicles there.
A few different vehicles there.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, there's a couple of vehicles there. But I don't know. If this one sort of ticks all the boxes for a fuckwit farm, doesn't it?
Yeah,
this area here. Like if you were going to operate a fuckwit farm, would be what you'd be hoping to achieve. Now there is nothing there to state that there's a bus. Like, we're not seeing anything in here. We're not saying that this is anywhere remotely close. All we know is this road. It is this road. That's what we know. It is one of these 4 houses that are off this road. And as you can see, directly next to him. So this is the road there. If you can see my cursor, he's got all this fucking fun area to go playing in. Look at all that. And he would know this area relatively well. And that area just keeps going and going.
And keeps going.
And going. Until finally you're up in Mount Buffalo. But I would be imagining that this circuit road around the hill, because this is quite hilly terrain. Let's have a look at the terrain. Look at that. I don't know what the elevation is there, but it's pretty decent. Anyone that knows how to read a topography map.
That looks like that's at least 600, maybe 700 meters. He's going 600 meters up.
Hang on a sec. There we go, 500 meters. Yeah, so you'd be looking at 600 meters there, 700 meters at the point. So there's your topography, ladies and gentlemen. This is called your contour lines. And then it gives you the indication there. So 600 meter climb isn't that fucking hard. It's not that difficult. And that is even to say if that was the direction he went. Because we were talking about this. They were talking about the schools and stuff earlier, and this is sort of where the schools and everything are in here. So it all depends which way he's ran. But so this is the road, this is the track. So he's got all the forest to fuck around with, or he could have gone this way and around. It's so difficult to try and determine which way he's gone. But this is all we know so far, ladies and gentlemen. This is all we know. But yeah, it's pretty much hillbilly compound. I think you're fucking right there. So that's all we know. Like we just only know the basics. And sadly, we're not going to know much more for a little while. Unless he surrenders in the next few minutes, we're not going to know much. And I can't see him surrendering in the next few minutes. This guy, I don't think this guy has any, I don't think he has any thought in surrendering to police. I think he will, and this is just my own personal opinion, I think he will take himself and his family off the board. Because I can't see him surrendering. But that's just my own take on the situation. I hope I'm wrong. But I can't see it happening.
We do have an update. The third officer who was injured has now been updated. He is in a serious but stable condition.
Serious but stable.
Yeah.
Getting shot in the leg, depending where you got hit. If you got hit in the thigh, you've got a major set of arteries that run through your thigh.
Yeah.
So it's all being shot in general is a fucking terrible idea, and it doesn't matter which fucking where you get shot. Being shot's never a great idea for anyone. But it's good to know that he's at least in a stable condition. They must have got him fucking pretty quick. I'll be guessing they probably took him to Albury to stabilise him, and then from Albury they'll probably take him down to Melbourne, unless they took him directly to Melbourne. And that could have been the helicopter that I heard when we came on air, but I haven't heard any helicopters since then.
No, there's been nothing else since then, but certainly I'm looking through. There's a couple of live blog postings that are updating at this stage. There's nothing major apart from that. That's probably the biggest update we can say is at least the third police officer is now, although it's not great, relatively speaking, his situation has stabilized. So at least they've got it under control, his current health situation.
Yeah, exactly. How old is this satellite photo? I can't tell you, Cliff. It says 2025, but I don't know. I don't know when it was taken. It's saying that it was taken by Airbus imagery, 2005 Airbus, CNS Airbus, Landsat, mixed technology. So it says 2025, but I don't know, mate. I don't know. If you read down the bottom there, it states that it was taken by an Airbus at that time, but when in 2005, I don't know.
You can at least say it's relatively recent.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We'll have a look back in, but so you reckon in here with some of the vehicles, but I don't know. They do look like little shacks. Let's go back up here, because there's another little house there too.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't drop the little guy on there.
No, you won't be getting Street View up this way.
No, be nice.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a fuckwit farm. I'm just throwing it out there. It does look like a fuckwit farm, and there is this object in the middle that's very caravanish.
Oh,
right.
Yeah, that looks dodgy. That looks really dodgy.
That's right at the back of the property, further away from anywhere else on the property, and the property still goes up. There's a couple of little back roads up here too, where the track ends. He could even be set up in here somewhere. What's that over there?
That looks like a caravan.
Yeah, if I was a betting man, and look, there's some bashed in track marks here. Look in here.
Yeah, I can
some
see
clearings
it.
and stuff in there. There we go. Down here on the riverbank. Look at that. Hang on. There's a little campsite there. Little campsite on the bank of the river.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, like just there.
And that takes him out to the that if he crosses the river, that takes him to the airfield.
Yeah, the airfield's literally just there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to have a bit of a play. But you've got to feed your family. I need to feed mine. I don't think we've got any more info that we can give anyone just yet. I think maybe I'll come back to this in probably in about 2 hours. And then when you're available, just let us know. And if we're still running, I'll bring you back in.
I'll let you know.
Yeah. But that's all we know at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. It's the best advice we can do. I'd like to thank all of you that have turned up, by the way, because there's a fair whack of you that have turned up. So I really do appreciate everyone that's turned up and been part of it. So we will come back. I'll absolutely come back. And then, pretty in pink over there, our good mate Anthony will hopefully turn back up as well. I do appreciate everyone talking about it, and feel free to keep the conversation alive in Discord if you want to come over there and have a chat and stuff. But as I said, we do need to feed our families. We do need to, do things like that. And we'll reconvene anywhere between probably 2 hours or so. That's what I would be guessing. And then Anthony not long after that. Sound good?
All good.
Oh, good. Mate, thanks very much for joining us too, Anthony. I really do appreciate it, mate.
No, my pleasure. I'm happy to help in this great channel. Make sure you all subscribe to this as well.
Yeah, fucking subscribe or come over to your house and I'll fucking snap you. It's nice of you to wish well to Austria, but I don't think Austria needs your help. Australia, on the other hand, we're a big fan of that.
Australia. Hey, just call Australia.
Australia,
Yeah.
Starya, Australia.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, we'll come back. There you go. Quite an Adamus. Next update will be at 6 p.m. So I'll watch that update, and then we'll come back and we'll continue the story, I think. Because obviously this will be an ongoing situation for a while. Even if they do catch him between now and then, we'll come back and have a chat about it.
Sounds good.
Sounds like a winner. Mate, thanks very much, Anthony. Really do appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, as well. Really do appreciate you all being here. Please, if you can, come back and join us in a few hours, and we will continue this this coverage, this different form of content here on the channel where we work out, have these kids been fucking found and looked after? That's our main concern coming up next. So thank you all very, very much. Until then, keep your knees together. Keep us erect if you want, and we'll be back. Fucking hooroo.